Hi everyone, welcome back to I Raw. I know it's been a while since I've posted a video, but I finally got my act together, moved into my new house, and I'm in my little oasis in my jungle of a backyard. And recently, I asked people to ask any questions that they wanted answered, and I picked three really good questions that all kind of tie into each other, and I'm going to answer those. So sorry if I don't get to your question, but I want to try and keep this video short because I tend to babble on sometimes. So, the first question I had somebody ask was how to prepare for summer, which I live in Florida, so it's pretty much summer all year round, but to me, winter is about 60 degrees, and that is pretty cold to me now. I remember when 60 was shorts weather, but I'm definitely in long sleeves now. So some of the best things to do is definitely going to be to cleanse. You want to get your body ready for the warm weather, and you want to be able to get rid of all the toxins that you've stored up in the winter. Most of us gain weight during the winter, which is completely natural. It's your body's own way of keeping itself warm and adding on weight because you tend to eat more grains, and if you're a meat eater, you end up eating more meat and things of that nature. Those things are not good for us, of course, but depending on what kind of climate you live in, you're going to tend to eat more of those things. It's very good when spring comes to start cleansing out the body, cleansing out the stored up toxins, and cleansing out the excess fat that you've built up. Toxins always store in fat. It's the number one place where they store in the body, so when you start dropping that, you automatically start getting rid of toxins. The number one best thing to do is drink a ton of water. That's always the answer to everything. That's going to flush out your cells, and it's going to get your body prepared for the next season, and everything is new and rejuvenating in springtime, so you also should be doing that to yourself. As you start getting into the lighter weather and things are more flowy and airy, you're also going to want to eat those types of foods. I know that in the summer here, it's incredibly hot and humid, and I automatically eat a ton of fruit. I eat way more fruit during the summer than I do in the winter, and it's really very hydrating to the body. And down here, since it's very tropical, I'm way down in Florida, a lot of tropical fruit grows here, and if you'll notice about tropical fruit, it's very, very hydrating and water-based. And so I probably close to half my diet is fruit during the summer months. Another thing that you could do is fast. I wouldn't suggest, if you've never fasted before, to start off doing like a 20-day juice fast or anything like that, but you can do something light, like maybe a 3-day fruit cleanse, where you're just eating one specific fruit. Fruit passes through the gastric system within 20 minutes, and your body will be empty. And what this does is it allows the body to concentrate more on getting toxins out of the cells rather than concentrating on digestion and things like that. Another great thing is when you're drinking your tons of water, is to add some lemon juice. It's very alkalinizing to the body, and it'll help with the liver to help cleanse those toxins out. The liver is a storage house for toxins. Also adding in some trace mineral drops or shilajit, which is what I do. I always have lemon and shilajit in my water. I love it. It's going to start replacing minerals into the body. And always remember that where minerals go, water goes. And when you drink those minerals in your water, it's going to drive the water into the cell and cause it to flush. So all those stored up toxins from the wintertime are going to come out in your pee. Definitely exercising outside. You spend all winter inside depending on where you live because it's cold or snowy or dreary or rainy, and you look at walls while you're exercising. Green is incredibly healing to the body, and healing always starts in the mind, and it's in the body second. When you are outside exercising and stretching and doing yoga and concentrating on the inside of your body, it's way more healing to breathe in that fresh air and hear the animals and listen to the wind blow through the trees. It's way more healing than being in the gym listening to rock music, running on a treadmill as hard as you can. And remember, don't over-exercise yourself, because this is actually going to cause your enzymes in your body to deplete. Those of us who get addicted to running and exercising and are doing it too much and we're not replenishing, you actually end up depleting your body's enzymes. So you can't recover as well, you can't digest your food as well. So it's better just to do everything in moderation. Also, not just about cleansing the physical, it's also about cleansing the mental and the spiritual. go to a place like I have here out in my backyard. I clear this little area out that used to be all poison ivy. I clear this little section out and I come out back here and I just meditate or I pray or I do my yoga back here, and it's time for me just to be by myself with and be one with the earth. If you don't have that, even go in your home and find a place where you can just disconnect from things for a little while and read or something, but it'll help bring you back to center and just focusing on the inward. Also trying to help get rid of any excess baggage that you've obtained over the year since last spring, and you want to get rid of all of that and just cleanse that out of the body. And it's very good to do that because, again, healing starts with mental. So if you have all this added stress, that does add to the toxin storage in your body, and it doesn't allow your body to heal as much or to cleanse out as much, because stress kind of grabs and hangs on, and it holds on to everything and creates a toxin of its own. And also, it really can help to just clean things out around the home, because that's baggage too, all the excess things that you've accumulated, and just kind of cleanse that out. So when you're cleansing the physical, mental, spiritual, emotional all at once, you feel like a whole rejuvenated being, and it's really great. And question number 2 was about minimalist living. This is the best question to ask a raw foodist. How to live minimal. This automatically happens when you start eating raw no matter what, because you start to see how little you actually need. We have this thing in our mind about we need X amount of calories to survive, and we have to make sure we're getting that, and we need this much protein and this much fat and this much carbohydrate. That's all too much. We never ever worried about that when we were first on this earth. We walked around and ate what was available, and we lived because we're still here on this planet today. I started noticing how much I didn't need in my life when I was probably about like 6 to 8 months into my raw food journey, because I started realizing how much little I actually needed to eat. And this is kind of the main thing of being raw, is you try and get as much nutrition as possible out of the smallest amount of calorie. Take the goji berry, for instance. You have all of these vitamins and minerals, all of these amino acids, and all of these trace minerals that isn't found in regular food in this tiny little berry. And that little berry provides your body with everything it needs to heal itself. That's astonishing. So instead of, well, let's see, I need to make sure that I'm eating 90 grams of protein with this meal, and I'm going to eat 6 eggs for breakfast and some bacon and some toast. Instead, for breakfast, I probably don't eat solid food until around 1 or 2 o'clock. During the day, I'm mostly drinking fluids, and that's truly when I feel my best, is when I'm very light, drinking teas, drinking some hibiscus water, and drinking some spirulina water, or making an herbal tea brew in the morning, or reishi shaga tea. And you just really feel the connection with the plant that you're drinking. Might sound weird to some of you, but it does happen. And you realize you don't need all of that for breakfast. I mean, I used to eat huge omelets every morning for breakfast and eat huge lunches and huge dinners. And the way this ties in to what you physically own is when you start cleaning out your body, you start just kind of letting go of things that you don't need, and going shopping for 15 shirts and I need all these new pants. That becomes less important to you, because you start realizing you want things to help heal here, and not things that are just on the outside of our bodies. There's people all the time that I see every day. They walk around, they have their Louis Vuitton bag, or they have, designer jeans that cost a couple $100. And especially where I live, you see people driving around in couple $100,000 vehicles. And I always stop and I look at what they're eating, and I always get shocked because some of them are still eating fast food or food that's bad for you. If you're going to spend $300,000 on a vehicle or $200 on a pair of pants, why aren't you spending that on the food you're putting on the inside of your body? This is the only body that we have. Why pollute it? You need to heal and keep everything. If we were wearing our organs on the outside, how attractive would we be? You need to think about that. And in order to reach this higher level of enlightenment, or whatever you want to call it, you have to get rid of all of the excess baggage. And that ties in with the spring cleaning. This spring, just cleanse all of that out. See how much you actually need. Become more in touch with nature and more in touch with your body. Throughout the day, listen to what your body's saying. do I need to eat right now? Or am I just eating because I'm bored? If you're on your lunch break at work, am I actually hungry right now? Or am I just eating to eat? You have to really listen to what your body wants. And don't eat until you're so stuffed you need to lay on the couch and you have a stomach ache. Eat slowly. Take 3 deep breaths before you eat to get your stomach ready. Chew until all of your food is a mush, because your tongue is what tells your body or your stomach what kind of enzymes to release. And just slowly enjoy yourself. And right when you start to feel like you're full, stop eating. You don't need to finish what's on your plate. I know that we're all raised to do that. And Rudolf Steiner actually has a really good point. You can get the book Nutrition. It's from one of his lectures done in the later 20s, I believe. He actually says that materialism is stemmed from eating cooked potatoes. He goes through and talks about how we are upside down plants, and cooked starch actually goes into the body, and what it does with the brain, it actually causes materialism. It's a really excellent thing to read, and if those of you who aren't familiar with Rudolf Steiner, he has a very good points on a lot of things. So my last question here is, how do raw foods heal damage from poor food choices? This is an excellent question, and also again it ties in to cleansing and living minimalistically. Well, we have over like 75 trillion cells in our body, and these cells are constantly replacing themselves, and it's said that between every 5 and 7 years we have actually fully replaced ourselves. So that means in every 5 to 7 years we shouldn't have scars that like we got 10 years ago, and we shouldn't have the same liver problems, and we shouldn't have the same skin problems, and our hair should be more beautiful. But what ends up happening is our bodies are starved from minerals and healthy choices, nutrition. So when you have toxic cells in your body and they're trying to replenish themselves, but they have nothing good, positive, alkaline, mineralizing to grab onto to kind of restore themselves and make new, they only have toxic things from like meat and milk and whatever else you're putting in your body. So now we're just creating more toxic cells, and we're not truly able to rejuvenate anything. Things that are very cleansing and healing to the body to be able to restore muscles and things like that are definitely high quality, pure alkalinizing amino acids. So where do you get that from? Plants, especially things that are higher in those amino acids and more absorbable to us. Wheatgrass is amazing for that. Spirulina, which is 77% protein, 100% bioavailable. You can put it in water and drink blue water if you want to. All of that is going to help mineralize, and it's going to help restore those cells. And so when they're rejuvenating and repairing, it's going to help replenish the tissue. Also, make sure you're doing the proper massages and proper stretching. You can take sea salt baths. That really, really helps. You can use Himalayan salt or just regular sea salt. I know you can get magnesium crystals now, which is really great. But just keeping on doing that, also putting minerals in your water, again, not only does that help flush the cells and the toxins, that helps to repair and help you to be stronger. So if your cells aren't strong and they're still weak and it's still all acidic in your body from the meat that you're eating, that's going to halt that repairing, and it's not going to allow your body to repair to its full potential. And you also want to be eating foods that don't take a long time to digest, because you want those cells to be able to go in, and instead of the enzymes, breaking down all the food for all day long, you want those enzymes to be able to go to the muscles and heal them. There's tons of different muscle healing formulas out there, like serapeptase and repair gold and like all these other things that you can take, but why take enzymes when those enzymes are in your body? They're just too busy doing other things. So allow them to have time to do those things. The best time for your muscles to repair it, or like for instance, when I did a juice fast, I did a 12 days juice fast on just green juice. I had scars here on my face and they completely went away. I was utterly shocked. I'm like, wow, I've had that scar since I was 4 and it only took 7 to 10 days to go away. It's really amazing what your body's capable of. You just need to provide it with the nutrients in order for it to heal itself. If you just keep putting in toxic thing after toxic thing, it'll never be able to have that time, because it's constantly working to rid the body of those toxins. Your body does not want to be acidic. It wants to be alkaline. So it's going to work as hard as possible to keep your body at the proper pH, which I believe for humans is around like 7.3. So anytime you're lower than that, it's going to try and do anything it can to put your body at the normal pH it wants to be. And when it's not, things like cancer start to pop up and you get candida and things like this. So you want to be able to have more greens and cleanse and just allow your body to have a more healing time inside, and you need to provide it with the things to allow it to heal, or else you're just gonna forever be in pain and you're gonna have your scars and you're not truly gonna be able to reach the potential that you can with your own body. Sorry if the video has gone a little bit long. I did try to answer the questions as thoroughly as possible, and I hope that I did give you guys the right answers. So I guess that's all for today. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to ask. Again, the website is eyeofrawfoods.com. You can also find me on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram now. So, and always remember to live life raw and you'll forever be healing and cleansing.